So for the record, what's your names? And
So my name is Fiona McNeil, and this is Alison
Alison
McNeil.
you're really jiggered, and have been for how long? How long have you been really jiggered?
Over 10 years
Yeah,
now.
about 10 years.
Yeah.
Right, okay. And clearly in March, whatever date it was, 23rd or something like that, we announced lockdown. What was was there any? Did you notice any impact prior to that?
Yeah, well, I work with Scottish Opera and the RSNO as well, and basically every email I was getting was like, this is cancelled, that's cancelled. We were getting our gigs and festivals cancelled. I was meant to go into America to get some concerts over there, so that was all cancelled. And yeah, so it was a bit it was quite depressing actually.
Yeah,
like
and I think
every
for
email.
being freelance, it was quite a hit. I mean, for me as well, it's like I do a lot of sound design and voiceover work, and that was all getting just cut right, left, and centre. So yeah, it's and then a lot of festivals and things like that were getting cut for us as well. So it was a lot to take in.
Yeah. And clearly, you mentioned tonight this is the 13th Live in the Drive session. So who came up with it? I mean, so how did it happen? What was the spark that said, we need to do something?
We noticed that Lynette Beaton had started up like the Everplayed live lockdown.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was one of the Friday nights, and I was like, Alison, do you want to just do a wee gig on the Saturday? Just because, and then she was like, yeah, of course, why not? And obviously at that time we couldn't have Scott McLean, he's our drummer, obviously due to like social distancing rules and things like that. So we just thought, well, we'll do a wee gig set up, and then we ended up doing a Facebook Live, and that went.
Yeah, we'd never done a Facebook Live before, but we thought as we're setting up, we may as well kind of share it with everybody else. So it ended up there's about 300,000 people watching it, which was just kind of incredible.
That's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and then it's just been all go since then really, because we were gearing up to releasing our third album, Tricky Terrain. So we had our kind of album tour all planned, and that was all cancelled. But we decided to just go ahead with it. So we released it on the 1st of May, and we just went with it and had a festival type theme. So we asked everyone to dress up and send us in their pictures, and then we had streamers and like kind of carnival style.
Yeah.
So it was brilliant. It was really, really exciting. And then we've had people from America and Canada, Hong Kong, all wanting our album. So it's been really great.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And listen, clearly, your model's changed, right? So lockdown happened, everybody's backing off, face-to-face stuff's all starting to disappear. You're doing something on a Saturday night. What else is, you mentioned about the launch of the album, but has what's happened over the last 13 weeks changed your views on what you need to do as time moves on, what the future starts to look like?
Yeah, I think we kind of realise the importance of having a kind of digital presence, and how that from one concert you can reach thousands of people.
Yeah.
We've got someone in Australia that sets an alarm.
For 2 o'clock in the morning, so they can watch
us.
our gig. And I think the way we've always been thinking, we want more festivals and lots of touring and things. Like we've been to Pakistan and Germany and Italy, Mexico and Japan to play. And so we love travelling and seeing other cultures and everything, but it's amazing that, with one gig, just stepping out your doorstep, you can actually reach many more people than if you were just doing a kind of in-person gig.
Yeah.
I think we would really think of the importance of the kind of, online.
And I feel it's become a bit more of a community, like let's say like a Reely Jiggered community, because we do like Facebook Lives now, and I think people feel like they know us, because we are giving more of ourselves to like the people that are watching, and I think that's really special and that's really important these days as well, because I think people want to they want to know everything about what's going on, and I think that we're happy to
just
give
share
that
a wee bit
to
more.
share.
because normally when you go onto a stage, you're not having that kind of hello, how are you? You know, you're there and you're kind of putting on a show. So I suppose when we're doing the Facebook Lives, they get to see a bit more of our personality.
Brilliant.
Mum and Dad.
Yeah, and our mum and dad, and kind of what's all going on in the
And the
house.
neighbours as well, actually.
Well, I was going to mention, you know, clearly you've got a significant following locally here, you know, so in terms of even just what you're doing for the community, I mean, you're giving something to all of these guys and girls, and, you know, whatever, you know, the online piece is you know, everyone's getting that, you know, so it's a broad community, a broad church of different people that you're delivering that to.
They've, you know, messaged us and they say, you know, I live by myself, and you have no idea how important Live in the Drive has become, because they do feel that they're part of our kind of community, and you know, the music and everything really brings them a lot. So that's nice to know.
And also there's these like kind of watch parties on Facebook that maybe like they are living by themselves, but they can be watching us along with their family in like America or Australia or something like that. So I think, and even on the comments you can see people that are like, hello, hi there, like how you doing? It's great to see you here. And it's just they're policing themselves on our page, and it's just really nice to see.
And how many is your Facebook? So I take it you have a Reely Jiggered Facebook page.
Yes, we do. So that's gone up a lot as well.
Yeah, we started with about 3,000.
Which is good in its own right.
And now we're like
it's over 8,000.
Over 8,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So
brilliant.
So that's really.
So there's a ready-made audience for you, is it, isn't it?
Yes.
And so what has lockdown meant to you?
Well, for me, I mean, I think for me, well, we're quite a busy family. Like, I mean, we do a lot of different jobs, and for me, that we do live together, but we don't spend time together. And I think for me, it's been really, really great to be able to spend time with like my sister, who's also one of my best friends. I know that's a bit cliche, I know, but it is. And for mum and dad, and actually like for our neighbours, a lot of our neighbours, maybe we wouldn't have. Like, we know them, but we would say like hello or like just kind of wave through the window. But now I feel like we've actually got a community here on the driveway as well, and it's got a wee WhatsApp group, and it's lovely. Like, it's really, really lovely. So I think, I mean, I did think at the start of lockdown, I was like, okay, I'm going to have so much time to do this, and this and that, and really I haven't been able to do that because this has taken off. But I don't mind that because I think it's really just been it's been an experience for us as well. Well, for me,
and I think it's allowed us to be a bit more creative as well, because you know when you have your kind of music jobs and you're going to rehearsals or teaching somewhere and you spend a lot of time travelling, and now like I do a lot of Zoom lessons, you know, singing lessons and choir rehearsals online, and you know I can basically, you know, run down the stairs and be there in like 2 minutes. So it has freed up a lot of time, which is nice. And I think I would think about, you know, once everything's all eased off, I would think about how much travelling I'm doing now, and if it's really necessary, or can I have a meeting, you know, with somebody on Zoom instead of trekking up to Glasgow or, you know, Edinburgh or wherever. And I think it makes you kind of value your time more, and kind of, you know, we're musicians and artists, and I think it's important that we give that the time, rather than just kind of running about.
No, absolutely.
You know, trying to make time, but that should be our main aim, kind of thing. So I think that's been really good for us, and just finding new ways of kind of communicating and not kind of thinking, oh, we have nothing. I think we're quite good at, you know, thinking outside the box a wee bit.
Yeah, and that's really important, right? That's really important. I think, you know, you mentioned something there about, you know, Sam Poland from the BBC was asking a member up at Cumberry Avenue bingo session, and she was interviewing him afterwards, and she said this guy's name was Mark, and she said to Mark, you know, it feels like a reset button's been pressed and we're going to go back to the way life used to be. And would you like that? Would you like to go back to what was normal? And I know I hate that cliche thing about the new normal. And he says, no, I wouldn't like it to go back to what was normal. And the reason I don't want it to go back to what was normal is because, you know, there's 10 of us in a row here in the houses, and before in the new normal, I only knew my neighbours by nodding at them as I drove in and out. And, you know, but now, you know, we play bingo every Tuesday night, we have quiz nights all the time, we know our neighbours, if somebody needs something, then one person will go to the Esplanade Cafe and get 10 ice cream cones,
Yeah.
someone will go to Louis and get 10 fish sup. You know, it's like almost reignited some old values that we
Yeah.
might have held at some point in the
Yeah.
past. I don't know. Do you sense that? Is that
Yeah,
something?
definitely.
Well, our mum, she's from the island of Isla, and so
Beautiful malts, by the
yeah,
way.
lovely.
Just
yeah.
saying.
So you know, we do feel it's a bit more kind of community based now, and that everybody kind of everybody. And you know, we were playing football last week after the live in the drive with Callum there, and you know, he was showing us a bit of football, and you know, and then he was dancing to our music and stuff, and it just feels nice because beforehand we would have said hello, but we wouldn't really have engaged that much.
Yeah.
So it does feel nice, and I think it's important to see people in person, and I think you know, Zoom is fine and it's good for now, but when you see people in the flesh, you do kind of, you know, have a bigger smile on your face, and you don't realise what you don't have until you don't have it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's kind of what we got out of it.
Well, what is so you mentioned that your third album went out 1st of May. What is the Tricky Terrain? What does the future look like for Reely Jiggered?
Well, we have had a lot of people getting in touch with us saying that once the festivals kind of open up, they would like us to come and play. So that's good, and we hope that that'll be able to happen. So we're just going to kind of keep doing what we're doing, and we don't know when we're going to have, you know, concerts that we were used to.
Yeah.
But at the minute we're kind of looking at how we can do like pop-up performances and, you know, maybe drive-in performances, or, you know, us being on a big balcony and people, you know, in the grounds. Yeah, big places that have got lots of grounds and things, you know, just thinking, right, what can we do just to keep our band alive? Like currently our bassist, he lives up in Glasgow, so the next thing will be when we're able to get him down, and we've got some more material that we're hoping to record our 4th album
And
as
it's give
well.
us time to, it'll give us time to make new music for the 4th album as well. We might actually have that out quicker than this
than we
one
thought.
came out.
But we also worked with a local artist called Alec Galloway, so he produced like the artwork for it and everything. So it's been nice to kind of connect with him and, you know, people from your area. Like I think sometimes when people hear local, they think not as good, you know. And it's not the case.
Yeah, because there's a vast array of talent, and it's not just like music. There's like artists and just it's amazing to see it all. Because we were going to have another local guy do support for our actual album launch, Scott Beaton, but obviously that's not been able to happen yet. But well, we did it on the driveway. But at some point, I mean, I think it'd be great to get like a good lot of Inverclyde-based people, or I don't know. I mean, like the Battery Park is huge.
Yeah.
They could do something there, you know.
But for us as well, we're hoping to. We've already done one music video, but we're hoping to do a lot of music videos, so that we're so grateful for the weather right now. But perhaps when it's going to get a bit more rainy, we're going to have music videos to release as well. So that's quite exciting. That'll keep us busy for a good wee while. So. And we live in such a beautiful place as well. I mean, I think.
So that was a question I was going to ask. So my kind of final question, I guess, is maybe 2 parts. So it's kind of like, but what do you think of Inverclyde? You know, the area, the people, and what do you think about the future of Inverclyde?
Well, I mean,
Tough questions, I know.
We love Inverclyde. Yeah. I mean,
it's so beautiful.
Yeah, you couldn't live in a more stunning place. And like we've travelled, been fortunate enough to travel quite a lot. And I think the more you travel and the more you come back, you realise, you know, how beautiful it is. And I think that's something that Inverclyde should really, you know, be proud of and be showcasing. Because, you know, there's people from all over the world that come on the cruise ships and then they go off to other places, when actually, you know, this stunning landscape could be kind of harnessed a bit more, I think, for tourists and things like that.
Absolutely.
And I think we had a lot of people online saying like it's amazing to see what a beautiful place you live in. We didn't even realise this, or there's people that were maybe listening in Greenock and they were like, oh my gosh, where actually is this? And we're just in Greenock, just next door,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think, I mean, sometimes Inverclyde gets a wee bit of bad press, but I think there are many things that we do have that can be built upon, So, yeah, I think it should be a bright future, hopefully, for Inverclyde. And there's a lot of people want to visit now they've seen the suns every day.
I might have to do tours of the driveway.
No, fantastic. I really appreciate the time you spent with me, so, and thanks for letting me into your small setup. It was fabulous. I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Thank you
Thank
very much.
All the best. Thank you.
Thanks.